Welcome to Sweet Talk SLP. I'm Krystle and I'm a pediatric speech language pathologist. Today is a review video, but before we get started, if you're not yet subscribed to my channel, I invite you to subscribe, like this video, and share it with your friends. Let's get started. So although reviews are common on this channel because I love reviewing products that are related to speech therapy for you, this one's going to be a little bit different because today I will be reviewing these handbooks, the Autism Handbook. I also have the Spanish version of these. These are by Andi from Mrs. Speechy P on Instagram. And so I have mine bound and we'll talk a lot about these books and everything about them and then go through a review which will be a little bit different. So I have both of these books here in front of me. Let me keep the glossy part to the back. Let's talk a little bit about these first. These books can be purchased on her website and I will link it down below for you in case you are interested in these. This video is not sponsored. I just want to highlight these books. And so each one of these books, these are for professionals. She does have a version for parents, but as a professional, I bought the professional one. And I also bought both because I am bilingual and my families are bilingual and or English or Spanish speaking. So I felt like I needed both. If you buy a book individually, the English or the Spanish, it retails for $97. Together in a pair, it retails for $146. I bought them when they went on sale, so I don't even remember how much I spent, like $120 probably or something like that. These books are sent to you in a PDF or a file that you can print. These are not, they do not come bound. And so I did send them off to bind them, as you can see here. So let's get into the review. I've already went over some of this, like the price and stuff, but that'll go into the review and it'll be a little bit different. So my reviews always have 5 parameters. One will be a little bit different for today. So the parameters, the first 2 parameters that I always have are storage and price, which those will remain the same. Then I usually go over child response. This time I'm going to go over parent response because these are resources that I share with families or parents of a child that has been diagnosed with autism. And then the last 2 are functionality and overall. And so we'll kind of keep those as they are. Storage, I'm going to give a 5 out of 5. It's a file. You keep it on your computer or your external hard drive or a USB drive and you have it there. If you do print them out, it is a very thin book. I keep putting the clear plastic and I'm going to blind you with my ring light. I need to keep it in the backside. So very small, easy books to have if you do decide to print them out. So 5 out of 5 for storage. Price, I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5. And honestly, I would want to give it less even because these are very expensive, but the product is good. And so I have reference points because I want you to understand where I'm coming from, right? I don't mind spending money when I think the value is there. For example, I have my notes here. The Marshala Guide, this big old honking book that has almost 500 pages, retails for about, I found one on sale for $127. One of these books is $97. So for $30, you get this big book with all of this information on speech sound disorders. Now, granted, it is very specific to, speech sound disorders, but still, this is very specific for autism. So, and this is bound. You purchase it in a book form. Another example I have here is Playing with a Purpose by Emily Cohen. She has her language book here with 72 pages. Retails for $25 if you get the printed version. I believe she also offers a digital version that is way less. So $25, $127 for that one, just as reference. This Autism Handbook has, I want to say it's like 40 pages or so, maybe 50. It's not numbered here, but I feel like whenever I open the file, I want to say that it's at about the 50-page mark. Some other examples, and I'll put them here on the screen. I don't own this book, but it is on my wish list, is the Interventions for Speech Sound Disorders in Children. This book retails for $89.95. I saw it on sale on some places. So about $90 for 688 pages is what it said online. Also, it's a textbook in printed form. You get it the way it comes. So for $90, and I think it's a little bit cheaper on some sites, which is $7 cheaper than this handbook, you have way more resources and information, and it comes bound. Something that's more similar to this, you get a Cycles Handbook by the Adventures in Speech Pathology on Teachers Pay Teachers, which will be pictured here. It has about 138 pages for $70. And also it goes on sale when Teachers Pay Teachers has sales. So you can get it for probably, I don't know, 15 or 20% off at some point. And she has sales from time to time. So again, that's a very specific thing. So is this one. That one also comes in a PDF form, so you do have to print it out. But $70 compared to $97, and also more pages. And so the one difference about this and why I'm giving it 3 and not less is because you can share and print some of these resources or some of the resources in here to give to families. And I have done that before. You have, like, that is an option. You know, you don't print the whole thing and give it to a family. You print out a page or two. There's parts in here that are made for sharing with families. So these other books don't usually have shareable, you know, options. So there is that. But still, for me, it's going to be a 3 out of 5. And I feel like I'm giving it extra for the price point. The next one we'll go over is parent response. So I have shared these with a couple of my families who their children were recently diagnosed with autism. Parents have responded very well. I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5. They enjoyed the layout. They enjoyed how it was written out, like the language used. It was very understandable for them, and they did express that they enjoyed the materials that I shared with them. And as an example of what I have shared in the past is some of these, like this page here goes over stimming and masking, and especially in the Spanish one, it's hard for me to, it's not a topic that I talk about all the time, so it's difficult for me to put into words exactly what stimming and masking might be. And so I can print that one page out on from my the PDF that I have on my computer and give that to a parent so that they understand it, and or I can read it with them so we can talk about it together and understand it better together. You know what I mean? So parents have enjoyed having that as an option. Functionality, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5. And because I can share it with families and parents have enjoyed it, and it does have a lot of information in there about autism, I think functionality wise, it's going to be a 5 out of 5. It has great things for you to see here. Therapies to consider. You know, it has a letter that you can give to families. It has a glossary so that families know, you know, some of the words and terms that are used. Maybe they don't know what ABA is, and there's a section here or area that does have, you know, explain what ABA is. There's some facts, some questions that are answered, very easy to read. So it does have a lot of good information that makes it very functional to use with families as a speech language pathologist, as a pediatric speech language pathologist, right? And overall, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. And I'm knocking down the 1 star for price because it's so expensive. A part of me wanted to knock it down more, but it has been a great resource to have. It's just a very expensive resource. Now, if you have the means for it, or you work with a company that can, you know, that offers to buy you books and products and things, I think it would be a great choice to add. I always love reading materials that I think will be beneficial to my sessions in whatever form and capacity. And for me, having resources to share with families when something is very new and scary and difficult to process, I feel like is very valuable, you know? And so you have to decide if that is valuable for you. For me, it has been valuable. It hurt my wallet, but I don't regret this purchase, and I would purchase them again on sale, which I did. So and she doesn't very often put them on sale. So that's something to look for, that every now and then she might, like once a year maybe. Great resource if you need information on autism for you and or your families. I think it's a great way. And because it's a neurodiverse handbook, and I am trying to be the most neurodiverse affirming SLP that I can. And so that is why this is very important for me to own, because you know, there are tons of textbooks, I'm sure, and resources about autism, but how many of them are truly neurodiverse? That's all I have for now. I'd love to know if you own either one of these books, or if you've purchased any for somebody else. I'd love to know if you have them and what your thoughts are on these books. I want to thank you so much for watching. I hope that you liked this video. If you did, I hope that you'll consider subscribing, like this video, share it with your friends, ring that notification bell. You'll be notified of my weekly uploads. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you on the next one.